On Eyewitness reports, passion takes to flight as some young Nigerians venture into aeronautic engineering. Agogo from Ogara, Delta State, and Olaolu from Ogbomosho, Oyo State. They eye a country where innovation is given its true value and have gone ahead to give wings to their vision. Today on Eyewitness, we're inspired by these pictures sent into our Eyewitness portal by Agogo in Delta State, a young man who built an aircraft that flies. Now, the size notwithstanding, that's in Ogara. And then another young man, Olaolu, who tried his hands on a drone and flying car. He confessed to have written to several media houses and got no responses. Well, we got this picture and felt it was a story worth following. Now, this is largely because over the years, we've seen people come from all parts of the country with various inventions, and then these men fizzle out because there is no one willing to encourage them, even the government that should step in. We traveled to check them out. You don't want to miss our experiences with them. It's Eyewitness Reports. I'm Chris Elems. Delta State, Nigeria is our destination. Ogara, to be precise, in search of Agogo, who sent in this picture of some of his airplane. It's a quiet town and the area presents not the faintest inkling of a creative hub. Eventually, we're able to locate the residents of Agogo. And more surprisingly is the unassuming nature of the man who made us drive over 5 hours from Lagos. He shows us to his storehouse, which doubles as his workshop. And then he introduces us to some of his works.
This is, I call it little crystal, and it's little indeed. It was my very first flyable aircraft that actually flew from the ground. You know, you see how archaic and primitive it looks. Yeah, yeah.
What year was this?
In '99 precisely.
Oh, 1999.
Yeah.
You did this?
Yes, exactly.
And it flew?
It flew.
How long did it take you to do it?
Then it took me about 3 months
to put this together.
Wow. You know, okay. I tried it a couple of times before I managed to get it right.
Having seen the aircraft, he made my interest even more kindled, and I'm now curious to see him fly at least 2 of them. It shows the pride of the green and the festival for demonstration. But before the display proper, Agogo, who is the first child in a family of 8, as I got to know, gives us an insight into his background and personality.
I build and fly aircraft. I've not been to any school. As a matter of fact, I do my research at home. I do just planes. I think planes. Yeah.
So academically, you've not been to, maybe after secondary, or you've not gone further, or just where did you stop?
Well, I went to primary school. Yeah, I went to secondary, and I was almost going to the university before this work really got intense, you know. And when I really studied our conventional school system here, it's not like I'm trying to, you know, bring down our educational system here, but I noticed that, you know, like for instance, I noticed that they teach you how to cram some of these principles and theory, you know, but it takes more than just knowing this principles and theories, to bring something out.
To get to his current level, Agogo have had to suffer lots of setbacks, but his passion kept urging him on.
Sometime in '92, I created an aircraft, which took me about, I spent about 100 to 120 naira then, It took me about 3 weeks to gather that money. I built the aircraft, and somehow I was nowhere close to actual flight, So I tried again around '94. No way. It was then I concluded that there is something spiritual about things that fly, So I took a long break, So, but somehow it was just like a destiny thing, So I couldn't just give up completely. So the thing kept bothering me. Guy, even if this thing is spiritual, even if not witchcraft, somehow, not be people get the witchcraft, So I kind of mustered up courage, even if it is witchcraft, even if not bottle of water, I will go there and go and bring it out, even if it costs my life, That was my resolution then, So I put some effort again in '97. I created another aircraft, but it didn't fly. But somehow I noticed some changes, and which I now interpreted as, guy, you need some more research. So I took another break, like about 2 years. So I went into serious research, a lot of reading, sourcing for materials on the web and all that. So around '99, I came up with another aircraft again. This time around, I was able to lift it off the ground, but the power source, the battery, I was using a car battery, which required a long wire, So I wish the aircraft couldn't carry from the ground. So it would just move to some point, leave the ground to the extent of the wire, it would just fall. So, and something funny really happened, I wanted a means of carrying the battery along. So I went to rent a wheelbarrow, put the battery on the wheelbarrow, then extended the wire. So somebody manning the wheelbarrow, then myself manning the plane. Guy, how far? You just said, yes, okay. Then I on the plane so that the wheelbarrow guy will be running alongside. But something funny happened. The guy was just running along with the plane, but he wasn't washing his own part. He was washing the plane, and somehow he stumbled into this capstone and the wheelbarrow somersaulted him, It was funny though, but I was able to come up with something. So, but somehow I was able to lift it a couple of feet off the ground. That was when I said, that winch, when Oyibo shop, I don't shop.
Time for some test flight. Agogo takes it step by step, coupling the parts just to ensure the aircraft were in the right frame for flight.
There's an inbuilt battery here that needs to be charged. So that's what I'm doing now. I need to charge the inbuilt battery that will power the electronics here. So while that is going on, I will need to fuel it. This engine uses a special fuel. Although it's a locally made fuel, I have to prepare that myself. See my filling station? You got it. So it's time to fuel. I don't have problem with fuel scarcity. I don't have problem with 86 per 50 kobo liter. So all the principles and theories of flight, as applied to the full size, are also applied here. So I'll be talking about that later. So you see the aileron. All these are control surfaces. You see all these ones that are moving. Yeah, this one is, to direct the plane on the roll axis, to stabilize the wings. It's called the roll axis. Then you see the horizontal control surface on the tail. Yeah, it's called the elevator. It's used to control the plane on the pitch axis. That is, if you want it to climb or dive. Yeah, that's the elevator. Then you see another vertical one moving left, right there. It's called the rudder. You see that? It works like your normal steering in a car, yeah, to steer the aircraft left or right.
The takeoff and landing were seamless and fast.
All right. Pride of the green, cleared for takeoff. Let's go. Let me show you something about maneuverability.
Okay.
You see the realistic airplane air sound it's coming out.
Now do you? That's awesome.
No? That's called the barrel roll.
Agogo, who has become a ray of hope to other people in the community, shares with us the future of the project.
Imagine buying something like this for a kid, a smaller version, and something that is really, really intellectually demanding in terms of flying, buying it for a kid. Before that kid will learn to fly that plane, that kid can do anything in seconds, because flying this aircraft is really, really demanding intellectually. And in the process, he will have to disassemble, assemble, and all that, So it will make a very, very interactive and intellectually inspiring training tool for a child. Then two, if you look at the flying, even an adult watching the flight, even an adult watching the aircraft flying is also excited, by the sight. The sight of flying the aircraft is a sight to behold, So on the other hand, it can also make a recreational object, for the adult. And as a result, I have built a festival, kind of, I call it National Mini Air Show Festival. Sometimes I do attach cameras to my planes, for surveillance purposes. Like I have the whole of this area, the shot of this area, in my camera, just taking the shot around, fly it low, slow, high, just to get shots. And I noticed that it can really make a good surveillance object.
At every point, he has young people around him, and one of his protégés attests to the ingenuity of Agogo.
It taught me so many things, like driving, repairing of many things. Let's say the guy is genius, he's good.
Also on ground is the proud mother who, amongst other things, expresses her joy at his son's talent.
Right from small pikin, he never reach 10 years when he started to do this thing. So he go outside, he go pack all this can, he go cut them. He go kitchen side, he go do am. Now motor first start, he take starter. So when he do am like that, he no go even care say they eat. So when Papa go see am like that, he go say, you no go comot your hand for this thing. He go flog am. Sometimes he go even throw away those things where they do before. We go to say he don't forget about them. Before we know again, he don't go pack them. He go kitchen side. He go carry fire, go cut the things, go do am. Not only the place itself, My motor when I take the sell bread, I know they carry and go mechanic place. Anything wey wrong for inside, even the one wey mechanic no go fit know, he go just detect am, he go do am. almost how many years I never reach a mechanic place because he know about motor, and as he know about the plane, I say he know about the motor.
According to Albert Hubbard, the world is going so fast these days that the one who says it cannot be done is generally interrupted by someone doing it. As it stands, Agogo has not had any form of sponsorship in an era where those who have taken to militancy in the region have enjoyed some form of compensation at one point or the other. But here is the young man who have decided to fly high, the nation's pride, being driven to frustration, if not for his passion which has brought him this far. There is no better time for us as a country to begin to look inwards and harness our creative and intellectual resources everywhere.